guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Know Me More. Today I'm going to be doing color correction. It's always been a question of mine if color correctors actually work under full coverage foundation, because the whole concept of a full coverage foundation to me is that anything you put it on top of is not coming through. So I'm going to do half of my face with a color corrector and then the other half of my face without a color corrector, and we'll see if they make a difference under my full coverage foundation. I'm going to start with a little bit of MAC Prep and Prime. As you can see, I've already put my wig cap on and I've secured my face tapes. I just haven't attached them to each other yet. I like to do that at the very end after my makeup application. Now, the color corrector I'm going to use today is the MAC Studio Conceal and Correct Duo. And this comes in two different colors, more of an orangey color, which is pure orange, and then we have more of a yellow color, which is ochre. The reason why I'm using these two is because I want to color correct my beard, but I also want to color correct under my eyes. The orange is to counteract the blue shadow that I get from my beard, although I am clean shaven and very smooth to the touch. Those little hairs underneath the surface of the skin still project a little bit of a shadow, which again I feel is covered up with full coverage foundation. And then under my eyes, today is a pretty good day, but every once in a while I get a little darkness under the eyes. But I find that the darkness is more of a purple tint. I'm using yellow on the purple shadow to create a more neutral canvas underneath my foundation. I'm going to start with the pure orange, and I'm going to apply that mostly to my upper lip, my chin, and then going back onto the lower portion of my cheek where I have the shadow, and we'll bring a little bit down underneath. And I'm going to take I don't like to use my Sephora beauty blenders for this because I don't want the color corrector to build up on the sponge, especially if I'm going to be using it for my foundation. I don't want them to mix. So I'm just taking one of these little cheapy cosmetic wedges, and I'm just going to tap that into the skin. And then I'm going to use the ochre color corrector under my eye, just a little bit right here, to help minimize any purplish tint that my under eyes might kick off. And now I'm gonna go in with my foundation color. I'm gonna start with FS45, and this is the Kryolan TV Paint Stick. And I go right over my eyebrows because they're microbladed, so it covers up a lot of the microblading. And I'm using a dampened Sephora Beauty blender, and I'm going to blend this color out. And then I'm going to use my Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer with a concealer brush. And I'm going to warm that up on the back of my hand so it makes it a little bit easier to work with, melts into the skin a little bit nicer. And that's going to go underneath my eyes. And we'll put a little bit on the upper lid, and then down the center of the nose, and then a little bit on the forehead, where we want to create that highlight. And again, we'll blend that in with the Beauty Blender. And next I'm going to use the Kryolan TV Paint Stick in 6W. This is sort of a mid-tone color for me. And this also helps to blend in my contour color a little bit better. And then last, my NG2 in Kryolan TV Paint Stick. This is my contour color, and I'm going in with a Sephora complexion brush, and I'm just going to dab that onto the areas where I want to create a little bit more shadow. And then we'll blend that out with our Beauty Blender. Okay, we are ready to set. And to set my makeup, I'm using a custom blended powder, which is equal parts of Nye Banana Powder and the Kryolan translucent powder mixed together in equal parts. I also like to use a dampened beauty blender for my powder application because I feel that powders can get really cakey and I don't like that look. And once I have that set, I'm going to use a Inglot powder brush. This is just a large powder brush, and I'm going to use that with a little bit of the Studio Fix from MAC in C5. And I like the finish that I get with the Studio Fix. Again, I feel like it gives it a little bit more of a natural looking finish. So that's it for the foundation. And I can't really tell a difference. I don't know. This is the side that was color corrected. This is the side that is not color corrected. I can't really tell a difference. Even under my eyes, I can't tell too much of a difference. But when you go in with a full coverage foundation, that's exactly what you're getting, is full coverage. So whether you're trying to cover up shadow or you're layering it on top of a color corrector, nothing's getting through. In my opinion, that covers everything. Skin tone, beard shadow, under eye darkness, and color correctors as well. So I'm just sticking with my full coverage foundation and not really bothering with color correctors. But now that we've done this, let's just go ahead and throw on a little bit more makeup and complete the look. Okay, so let's start with eyes. I am going to be using the Urban Decay Gwen Stafani palette. It's a couple years old. I don't even think that it's available anymore, but maybe the individual colors are. I'm going to start with, let's do this color right here. This is Baby. I'm going to use that on my lower lid, and I'm just going to put that on the lower lid right on top of the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer, which acts as like an eyeshadow primer. And I didn't powder my eyelids, so this is going right on top of that product. And I'm just washing this over the lower lid. I'm going to go in with a red contour color, and that's going to be Punk. And I'm going to put this right above my natural crease. And then using a MAC 222 brush with nothing on it, I'm just going to buff that out. And now to back that line up a little bit more, I'm going in with a MAC 266 brush. And I'm going to take this color right here called Sirius, which is like a dark gray. And I'm just going to tap that on the bottom of that contour color that I just put down, that Punk. And then just sweep it up a little bit, just to give it a little bit more definition. And back to the 222 brush, and we'll just buff that out a little bit. Next, let's put that red pigment on, and we want to work very carefully because loose pigment can get away from us really fast. So to help keep it clean and to make the application more impactful, I'm going in with an Inglot eyeshadow brush and a little bit of the Makeup Forever Aqua Seal, and I'm just going to put a couple drops of that right on the brush, and I'm going to dip that into my product, and then I'm just going to tap this onto the lower lid. And I'm only loading up one side of the brush, because if I load up both sides, all that product is just going to fall off and end up on my cheek, and I don't want that to happen. Next, I want to do some eyeliner. I'm going to do a dark eyeliner on my upper lashes and a brightening liner on my lower lashes, and then underneath my lower lashes we'll do a dark liner as well. But I think I'm going to keep that a powder. So to tight line, you just want to go in to your upper lash bed and lay down a nice application of your black eyeliner, and I'm using MAC Kohl, MAC Eye Kohl pencil in Smolder. And I'm using the Benefit Roller Eye Bright pencil. And we're just going to pull the lower lash line down a little bit, and we're just going to hit that pink area. Let's do a little bit of shadow underneath, and for that I'm going to go back in with my MAC 266 brush and that punk color that we used for the contour above, and we're going to put that on the lower lashes. And I'm going to start on the outside corner, and then I'm going to bring it in just to where my lashes stop. I'm not going to take it all the way to the inside corner because I just don't want to close off the eye. And then let's use a MAC 219 brush with nothing on it and just buff that line out a little bit. And now I'm going to use my Almay liquid liner to create a liner on the top to act as a base to put my false lashes on. Okay, now time for lashes. I'm using my go-to elegant lashes. I use Faux Mink lashes, and I get 2 different pairs and stack them together. And I like to use the Ardell Lash Grip Adhesive in dark, because when it dries dark, so it adds an extra layer of depth and dimension around the lash bed and around the eyes. We'll go in and curl the lashes, and I hold the eyelash curler on my lashes for a count of about 15 to 20. Okay, now taking my Tweezerman tweezers, holding my lashes, I'm going to apply my lashes to the lash bed, but on the outside corner I'm just going to angle them up just a little bit so that it doesn't create a droop on the outside corner of my eye. Alright, and let's do bottom lashes. I think today's a bottom lash day. For my brows, I'm going to be using a new product today. I had recently tried the Benefit roller line because I do like their roller lash mascara so much, but I did have some difficulty getting the product to actually come out of the felt tip. So today I'm using the Urban Decay Brow Blade. This one has a pencil, a twist-up pencil on one side to draw the shading in of the brow, and then it has a super fine point on it to draw those hairline strokes. And unlike the roller lash, this is actually meant for brows. The other one's just an eyeliner that I tried to use for brows, so because this one is designed for brows, I'm hoping that this is going to give me a better result. Now I'm going to go in with this little felt tip point and I'm going to draw some hairline strokes. Okay, and let's clean that up a little bit. I'm going to use the Sephora smudge brush, and I'm going to mix a little bit of my FS45 with my Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer, which is in the color SX01. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to clean up underneath the brow first. And really just kind of the tail. And then the top. And to clean that up, Beauty Blender, we're just going to tap that in on the top. But we're not going to do anything on the application underneath the brow. We're going to use a little bit of a highlight color for that. And then with whatever's left over on my powder Beauty Blender, I'm just going to tap that in. Now I'm going to use a MAC 239, and going back into the Urban Decay palette, I'm going to use a combination of pop with a little bit of bath water as my highlight color. Just mix the two of them together, and that goes on the brow bone, underneath the brow, right where we just laid down that concealer. Just tapping it into place. We're going to do one more coat of the liquid liner on top of the lashes. And add a little bit of pop to the inside corner. So I'm using MAC Dazzle Liner in Holiday Time. And we're going to move on to contour and bronzer and blush. To start with the contour, I'm going to use the Inglot 3P angled powder brush, and I'm going to go in with Raisin by MAC. Now to blend out Raisin, because it is such a dark color and I do like a more seamless look, I'm going to go in with the Sephora angled blush brush, which is a little bit larger, and then I'm using Copper Tone by MAC, and I'm going to use that just to blend the Raisin out. Okay, and then on top of that I want to put a little bit of bronzer on the high points of the cheekbones and the forehead, and I am going to use Too Faced Sun Bunny Natural Bronzer. This is a good bronzer, but it's not a good contour color because, I don't know if you guys can see this, it does have a little bit of shimmer to it. Shimmer is never good for contour because with contour you're really trying to create a shadow. I'm going to use the Sephora Highlight and Contour brush. And I'm just going to hit the high points, like right, kind of Raisin, Copper Tone, and then the Sun Bunny bronzer. And just sort of stacking it on that way to create a nice natural flush to my skin after having removed all of the color from it with the full coverage foundation. And then let's put a little bit up here where the sun would hit me. And before we finish off with the blush, I'm going to take a little bit of the Raisin mixed with the Copper Tone to create a little bit of a contour on my nose. And this is a MAC 227 brush that I've used for that. And for blush, I'm going to use the Inglot blush brush. And I'm going in with Urban Decay Afterglow 8-Hour Powder Blush. And this is just going to dust over the apples of the cheek. And lastly, for contour and highlight is the highlight part. Going in with my very new favorite highlighter, the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Skin Frost Highlighter in Uranus, which is a nice light shimmery gold color. And I'm using the Sephora fan brush. Let's do some lips. I'm going with my standard Runway Rogue. I'm going to be using lip paint in Callback, which is a liquid lipstick, and I use this in place of liner. And then we're going to follow that up with Head Over Heels lipstick and Chameleon gloss. And I do have to mention that these lip paints from Runway Rogue smell like vanilla frosting. They're amazing. We're just going to give that a minute to dry down, and then we'll apply our lipstick and our lip gloss. Okay, so now that my liquid lipstick is set, I'm going to go in with Head Over Heels lipstick. Oh, and these lipsticks too, they're really cool. They're magnetic. So you just put the top on. How cool is that? I love that. And it makes a really satisfying, there's a satisfying pull to it when you're actually putting the cap on and you feel that magnet pull the cap in. It's genius, Patricia, genius. And then finally we're going to finish up with Chameleon Lipgloss. And this is just going to go on all over. One quick coat of mascara on my top lashes. And then we'll set everything with the Skindinavia setting spray with those 2 teaspoons of the MAC Vanilla Pigment. And again, with the color correctors, I'm not really seeing that much of a difference where I think it's something that would be necessary when using a full coverage foundation. So I'm going to go grab some hair and I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. Okay guys, here's the finished look with hair. Please let me know what you think. If you can see a difference that maybe I can't see with the color corrector. This side has the color corrector. This side does not have the color corrector. Also, if you have any other questions or comments regarding today's video, please leave those down below as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.